brewing beer at home. What I got here is a beer kit from Wilko First Gold IPA. Makes 40 pints. It's when you add extra sugars, it will be 4%, but I don't want to make it very alcoholic. It's going to be low alcohol content, so I'm not going to add any more sugar. I'm just going to use this obviously for flavor and for main body of the beer. A large saucepan with the ladle and fermentation barrel, 25 liters with a tap and non-return valve, a little bubbler. So the process is we're going to fill the pot with water and bring it to boil. Whilst we're bringing water to boil, I'm going to rinse and sterilize the barrel and prepare the tin. Obviously with the pot we have to leave enough room inside of the pot to add content from the tin. All you need in this package is what we got. We got barley syrup, malt extract. It's already been pre-hopped, so it's got some hops in there, and then you got some additional hops that we're going to add on, and we got yeast. So let's wait for our water to boil up. Water in the pot is coming to boil, and that's time to pour our malt in the pot. You can see how thick is that. It's like a honey molasses kind of substance. I'll pour some hot water from the kettle into the tin to dissolve the rest of the stuff, and turn the gas down. Stir this up because we don't want it to start burning on the bottom of the pot. We want it to dissolve in the water fully, so it's not syrup shape anymore. It's not in that sticky, icky mess. It's nice liquid. It doesn't need to boil anymore. It's just heat helps it to dissolve really, and also to sanitize the pot and water and the ladle. Right, turn the water off fully. Sorry, not water, gas. Just stirring up, so make sure there's nothing stuck to the bottom of the pan. Ladle goes into there. Now I can transfer this into the barrel. Here's our 25 litre fermenting barrel. I'm going to pour this now, the hot pot, into the barrel. Now this is the rest of the stuff in the tin with hot water from the kettle. Let's go. I will pour a little bit of cold water and just rinse, just get all that goodness out. Now you can see it's just above the tap. Now I need to fill the rest of the fermenter with cold water. And the water I'm filling is just standard tap water. Some people say you should boil it and then cool it down and all that, and to use shop bought water. I've been making for years with just tap water, and it's absolutely fine. Now immediately after we added cold water to the barrel, the temperature of the barrel is gone down to room temperature, about 20 degrees or so. So now I'm gonna add hops and yeast. It doesn't need any stirring in. It's just literally adding hops, the little granules. Yeah, and then yeast. It doesn't need to be stirred in. The nature will do itself, all that. Now I just need to put a lid on and put it somewhere in the room, in a corner, away from everything else, to ferment for about a week. Right, this got it now in the corner of a little study room. Lid has been sealed on, and we got a little bubbler, little valve on. So in the morning that should start bubbling nicely, because yeast is going to start working. It's in the room, it's about 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. It should take about a week to finish primary fermentation. This is now next day. Fermentation is nicely active. You can see how it's bubbling nicely. So fermenting gases are getting produced inside of the barrel. You can see some kind of froth inside of the barrel there. So once this fermentation gas production lowers down, it should slow right up after about a week to 10 days, depending on the temperature, and that's the perfect time to bottle it for secondary fermentation. Right, 1 week has passed and fermentation has slowed right down, as you can see, with a little burping bubble. It's repeating itself every couple of minutes. Now I'm going to prepare all the equipment, wash the bottles and start bottling. Bottles have to be thoroughly washed and then rinsed. Hygiene is very important, because we don't want to introduce any foreign bacteria or yeast or microorganisms into our beer. Once all the bottles are being washed and sorted, I need 50 bottles, so that's coming up to here, and these bottles are just overfill if I accidentally need any more, so they're all prepared and washed. And now I need to prepare the crown tops. The easiest way to sterilize them is to put boiling water of them, and you can even put them on a hob for just a minute, just to simmer a little bit. But these are straight out of nice clean packet, so they're all just soaking in hot water should sterilize them. The next step will be priming the bottles with sugar. Just use white sugar, half teaspoon in each bottle. Way to prime it, you can see half teaspoon into the funnel, into the bottle, and repeat process for each one of them. That will carbonize our beer, ready for nice consumption with nice fizz to it. There you go, this is the bottle filled. You can see it's very dark, and it's not translucent at all. It's because it's still got all the yeast and some hard matter floating around the beer. It will need now, through secondary fermentation, to condition, and all that extract will actually settle down to the bottom to the bottom of the bottle, leaving nice and clear beer on top. Once the bottles are filled, take the cup, put it in a cupping press and press in. That's beer done. One bottle, give a shake to dissolve that sugar, priming sugar that is in the bottom, and place it in the crate. That once the crate is full, it will go in a dark place in my garage for an additional 4 to 6 weeks of conditioning, and just repeat the process with the rest of the bottles. For labeling, you can print labels out on just normal inkjet printer on thin paper with a little brush. Use milk, any milk. Paste back of the label with milk generously and stick it to the bottle. It sticks really well, and also after use you can remove it easy, because it removes really easy. When it's still wet, it looks sort of like that, and as it's drying out, it starts looking better. And it does not dissolve ink from the printing, and it's not ruining the paper. It looks really nice when it's all finished. And by that, it actually, you can record on the label bottling time, as here it says bottled on 5th of December, and it's First Gold IPA, and it's about 2.5% of alcohol per bottle. There you go, all the crates are full up. It's all labelled First Gold IPA, and it's going to go into the garage in dark for conditioning for another 4 to 6 weeks. Now, because sometimes I make these beers from kits, and sometimes I do whole grain brewing depending on available time, I'm gonna go and open and get one of the previous batches bottles and open it up so you can have a look consistency of that beer. This is my little corner in the garage for conditioning, and here's one of the bottles. You can see how much is cleared out over the time, and it's got sediment on the bottom. As I said, it's one of the previous batches, so we're going to try this one just to show you, so you don't have to wait for the time for the other beer to condition. You can actually almost hear bubbles forming. You have to fill it in gently so you don't disturb sediment in the bottom of the bottle. That sediment happens regardless if you making it from extract or whole grain. With a whole grain you do actually get more sediment. Sediment is not a problem, it's not an issue. It's just I like my beer to be a bit more clear. Now I'll show you that sediment in the bottle. It goes in the bottom. It's quite thick, you can see there. It's quite thick, and it's smelling, well, like a beer and a bread, because that is basically yeast. We did make a few times a bread with that yeast, just collected from 2 or 3 bottles, the amount, and that's enough for one loaf of bread. Now you can see on the beer, you can see bubbles rising. It's fairly clear. It's not fully translucent, and it's got nice solid head on it. Head that does not disappear over the time. And that's how you can enjoy your homebrew, like that. That's a really nice, tasty beer. Thanks for watching. If you like it, please like the video. If you would like to put any comment below. And I will soon try to make another video with a whole grain brewing. Thank you for watching. All the best.